for the next DAs. We've had a couple of days off. Basically, Friday is the cinema day. Saturday was a social day, really. How has everybody's shinies been luck-wise? I haven't really done much. As I said yesterday, I was out for a long spell of the day. I worked a little bit on setting up a brand new profile on Shield. I've mentioned this before. I want to set up a new save under voices, basically, and I had put together everything I needed, filled out the Pokedex, did the first DA, took a Jolteon with me, and I'm going to do 6 in total on that save, and then speed run the game. That's going to be my plan with whatever I get out of the DAs. I will want to get all the way to champion so I can get an official Zamazenta for my living dex too, and then that will become my shiny hunting save. So yeah, that's pretty much what I had to do for the morning yesterday. I did a couple more as well, so I've kind of lost track of how many I've done because I forget which days I've updated stuff. But there we go, we are back on as Elf, so who would like to join an as Elf DA? So you're on the Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon Cresselia hunt. Will you beat Boy from Belgium to get that one? Because I know that he has it lined up to be caught, but hasn't found one yet. So that's interesting to see if you can beat him for that one, because we know he beats everyone else for the shinies. I've also mentioned that I do the Dex 365 quite a lot. There is only 2 legendaries left to get, and that is Azelf and Giratina. If we find a Giratina puff, I may start saving it. I know that ironically does have it, so we'll see what happens. And then see what happens if we just stick with Azelf to start with. Yeah, so I'm going to set an Azelf one up. As I said, does anyone want to join an Azelf run? Or should I just do a quick one solo? I would like to get at least something shiny, not necessarily Azelf. I can deal with just getting the things we meet on the way shiny. But we also, well actually I did it more offline. I officially went past using 999 luxury balls. So that was something that happened. So I'm going to just quickly run a solo as Elf. Not a great start, I'm not going to lie. What is good? This hurts dark types. And if people want to join the next one, they can. What a dreadful selection for this run. I have sort of started seeing the computer tends to make it easier for us when you do just the computers. But I did fail an as Elf run, which was quite bad. What else do we have? Okay, well, we're going right. Yeah, I lost 3 lives before I even got to Azelf, and one of my remaining team members only had like 10 HP, and it went straight for that one. So it wasn't like we threw it, it just didn't happen, sadly. But I'm holding off going too far into my new save, because if I get too much done, I will... basically, I want to get to the Shiny Charm minimum, and if I can get a team of level 65s, I should beat the game with my eyes shut, let's be honest. It's not going to be a Nuzlocke or anything. I could turn it into a Nuzlocke, because technically I have done 0 encounters. I literally sped run through, got to my Grookey, did the battles you need to do, and made my way to Witchhurst to get the Corviknight Fly. Pretty much all I've done. Didn't want to waste any more time on anything else. As I said, I moved everything in from home, which was quite helpful. But I forgot one Pokemon ridiculously. I forgot, what was it? It was Miltank. Don't ask me how. I didn't by generation order. Anything that could be transferred in, I transferred it in from my living decks. I even went out my way to get a Clink because for some reason I never got Clink in my living decks. So that was solved too. But because I do this other competition, I need to put my IDs back in line. Some of them were crossing over. So I can't use any of my Voices accounts for this month, which is a little bit frustrating because I've used this Dakota one, and I've also used my Legends Arceus and my Violet one, and they're all different names, which is a bit frustrating for me, but I don't really do too much on the Voices saves anyway. It's only going to be DAs, so if I can move away from this save after all that, I can get back to where I need to be. Yeah, that's pretty much where we are. I'm going to just take... I want to risk they take it. Okay, that'll do. I'm happy the computer has it. Because, well, yeah, we wanted the computer to have this one, basically, and we can take this. The main theory would be, I can't. That has 2 good weak strengths. I can then just keep working my way through. The other thing that would be really nice is if I could see if the computer wants it before I decide. But we'll carry on. Let's just slowly beat this thing. I'm not going to take Boldor into the final. That's pretty much a guarantee. But so how is everybody's Easter been? Done anything fancy for it? Like, as I said, I just went to watch a local football match and went to a pub to see a friend do some DJing stuff. So that was mine. It's not the most exciting. I've no real plans today. I did watch WrestleMania Night 1 in Fast Forward this morning, and there's football, Formula 1, etc. later today, so I can catch up with all of that. But otherwise, yeah, to me it's the same. It's just another day. Zombie Jesus Day, let's call it that. I've never really been one to go out my way for these holidays. Hence why we're just doing our normal streaming session, really. We're not going to go out our way to do anything overly fancy either. We're just going to hopefully get a shiny Elf. And that is going to be the most important part of the day for me. Yeah. As I say, I will be doing a little bit of work on my new save. I want to speedrun it, but the thing is I don't want to do the Dynamax because the challenge I'm doing at the moment is the Dynamax challenge, and I want the best shiny ones. So I could try to speedrun the game with just a Jolteon. I don't know if that will be possible. But I guess we'll find out. I would like to get 1 or 2 more. But then if I get the shiny, it's real. Maybe I just don't catch the legendary. Because if I did get the shiny, like, ridiculously 1 in 300 on that save, I will be a little bit frustrated. I know, that's the key thing. But then I could, as I say, potentially throw it and in a weird way and not go for the actual legendary. Just catch the first thing and then just lose the fights, but not count them as DAs. Because I think when I did a previous Nuzlocke, I needed to do something to go through all the DAs, and I think I got a shiny on the first DA. So I take this, because then we keep the Drapion. They're the 2 most important. Well, I think this will probably be... Now we've got some fire moves, so we may take on this. Seems the weakest of what's left. And if someone takes it, it will be more resistant to the fairy moves. I also noticed Boy from Belgium got a shiny today, so nothing's changed. I take a day off and I will find out he's got a Mesperit and a Golduck today. So, yeah. That happened again. The shiny king is coming back to rule. It would just be nice to get one. Like, since even with the Cresselia, we haven't had what you would call a normal non-legendary for a long time in the DX. We've had like 4 legendaries and 1 normal. That's how weird the run has been recently. But I guess we would rather have the legendaries, wouldn't we? The other reason why I probably have fully set up the new profile is because I would like to change every single Pokemon, very long term plan, into being Voices Trainer ID, not other names. And that would probably include the shiny decks, which is going to take a long time to change, because even though I've only got like 25% done, it's not helpful for what I'm trying to do. Somehow we haven't beaten this in 3 turns. Thanks, team. Oh god, now we're getting hurt as well. Okay, that's okay, we'll take that. I did see you got quite a few the other day, so that was nice to see. Like, that was all, what, wormholes? Or doing SOS chaining for the non-legendaries as such? Again, I've never done enough in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, so I can't really say how good or bad I would ever be at doing them. We all know that the 3DS is very difficult to stream without having the capture card one, which costs about £500 or £600, which isn't going to happen. Fair enough, but wormholes do seem very overpowered considering there are newer games with other techniques. Drapion! Knew I should have taken Drapion. I knew it. I just knew it was going to happen. But let's see if we can get this final little Lake Guardian genie thingy mobby. And we've only really got one move we can use to hurt it a lot, so we'll stick to that. Magmar, thanks for coming. If you survive, no, would have been a good one. Morning, Corey. Very early for you. How are things? Now, this is only number 1 for the day, so don't worry, you haven't missed me failing shinies yet. Fair enough, but as I say, I've never really done too much with the... I've only ever finished Sun once. I've never finished the rest on bad Nuzlocke runs. So, yeah. Fair enough, a nice all-nighter. Is that just gaming, or just didn't realise it was night sort of thing? And do you want to join some as Elf raids? I know it's not the most exciting of the legendaries, but it's one that's nice and easy to beat. So yeah, you've got your Nuzlocke on Ultra Sun, haven't you, at the moment? I see all the updates. Are you hunting for anything in particular in Oras, or is it another Nuzlocke as well? Because I have never been that, like, I like going through that game for my old Nuzlocke challenges, but I've never really gone back through it again. Like, I did some, what was it, some horde hunting the other day for an Nincada, which was nice. But otherwise... Oh, you're doing the shiny badge quest I mean, that's what it's called, isn't it? Yeah. Isn't that what you were doing on Black or White with your Snivy hunt, or was that something else you were doing? Yeah, I can imagine the little ones will be a pain during Easter. They do get very hyper with the Easter eggs. But let's see if we can start today with a shiny. No. No. Nope. And nope. Sadly, not a good start, but we did win. That's the good thing. So, anybody want to join Anna's Elf Run? I don't think I would ever have the patience to do a 3DS shiny only run. I could probably put myself through a Violet or Scarlet one, but I can't do the others. They would drive me crazy. Fair enough. So you've got 4. Is the black save on DSs or on other means of playing the game? And the same with Aura. So they all hardware copies or just some sort of other means, shall we call them? Okay, so I'm going to do one more solo run. Let's see what we have this time. I'm going to probably take this in case we find a bug type, I guess. Fair enough. Like, I've got like the hard copies of Auras and Ultrasound on my saved up stuff. We do have a Lampent, but it's pretty weak. I believe Dreadnought could have something helpful, but it's not a good start, really. Okay. Yeah, I've seen in the black and white one, I think, is about 50-60, but the 2s are like 90 to 100 over here. I used to I scout one of these websites to see if anything comes up cheap, and I think I once saw one really low, but not much help wise. Well, this isn't like an easy battle, is it? Okay. As I've previously said, I missed the era of when black and white came out, so I never really got to enjoy them the way everyone else did, and I kind of wish I could try them, but they're very difficult to play now that I've played the sort of experience of all games. That's probably how I look at it quite a lot. When I've played so many of these, I find it so difficult to go back to some of the older ones. The 3DS aren't as special because you can get them through special means. I thought the 3DS ones would have been harder to capture or get because of certain protections. Like everything before that is relatively easy to get other means. But then I've noticed Auras has started going up in price. I think last time I looked on one of the reselling sites, they were up to like £45 second hand, and when I bought mine they were like 30 to 35. So that's quite interesting to see how things are slowly going back up again. Like even Sun and Moon at one stage had gone down to about 12, and now they're about 20 to 22. exactly. Like back in when you could have got them cheaper, they would have been so much of a bargain. But they're starting to go up a little bit now. I don't actually have a modded 3DS. That's the problem. So I can't do any of that stuff. Which is a shame. But I do have Bank though on my 3DS. I managed to get that about a week before the store closed. But as I said, where I've got the hard copies, I don't really need to do much. Yeah, that's about what they are now, I think. I think they were a little bit lower because I did a big purchase of all of the 3DS ones about 3 or 4 years ago to do a very ambitious challenge, shall we say. I was going to do a challenge where I beat every single gym in every single game, but I could never use the same Pokemon again. So if I use Bulbasaur against Brock, I could not use Bulbasaur on any other run. I could use an Ivysaur, but that would have to be a different save. It was a very ambitious project that I think I did the first gyms up to... I want to say I did the Oras ones, but I can't be 100% sure I did. Because things happened and then I found a different challenge. Yeah, the Sun and Moon have gone way up. From what I've seen, like when as I scout this site, sometimes I see it come up for like £9. I've basically not. I don't really know how I ended up with it, but I've got the Music Magpie Pokemon games page saved on my tab. So if I just type in MU, it will come straight up. So I can look at that every day, see what's come in. And sometimes you can get some ridiculously low prices showing up, but they will go like click of your fingers, like you just don't stand a chance. CEX is too fluctuating. My best way to describe this is when I was trying to get the new Pokemon Snap, I ordered it off the website for £28. Didn't turn up, so they paid my money back. But the day after I ordered it, it went up to 30. So the money I got back, I went and bought it in the shop. And then a couple of weeks later, it was back down to 28. But the one they lost did turn up, so now I have 2 copies. I think it's more to do with the second versions are considered better for the most part. From what I can tell, like people enjoy yellow more than anything else. People enjoy emerald, platinum much more. But then it's because it's almost like the first game is almost treated like a glorified beta test or demo or early access, and then they see all of the additional stuff, and then they're like, oh, we could add this, and they bring out the next one. Like yellow, I think is slightly different to the extent that I think they were just trying to make people enjoy the anime side of it, because people had been playing these games for a long time, but when it came next to the anime, everyone was like, why can't I just pick Pikachu like Ash did? So that's pretty much what yellow is. It's sort of trying to be a tie-in. But it worked at the time, it sold. I don't think they'll ever do a proper addition to it, but whatever. No worries, I'll see you on the other side. And you can say the same with Crystal. Like, Crystal managed to do something better with the story. Yeah, and that's great. You got all the starters, so that's made it much more enjoyable. Thank you for the follow, Starcry. welcome into the DA adventures. We are currently on Azelf. Might not be the most exciting Pokemon, but it's an easy one to beat, and I'm in a challenge trying to get Gen 4 Pokemon, legendaries, and we've only got 2 left. One is Azelf and the other one is Giratina. And I don't have a Giratina path, and I'm not going to try it on my own. Thank you. Are you much of a DA fan? So far for our challenge, we've actually got Heatran, Cresselia, Moltres and Guzzlord. We got the first 2 before we started the Gen 4 challenge. So that's been pretty good. We've done nearly 270 DAs this month. Won most of them. We do have them open for people who want to join, so if you do want to join, let us know. Welcome back, Dragon. Oh, that's not a bad one. That's not a bad one. How many lives do I have? Only 2. Okay, we could do this. They're pretty frail, but I've been in worse positions, shall we say. I do wonder whether we will get a proper virtual console on the Switch 2 in the future. Yes, but not all of it is strictly correct to buy it that way, shall we say. We'll get it that way. I know how to do it, I just didn't want to mess up my only one I've got. Oof. Sometimes certain things about extra bits you want to do can be technically classed as against TOS on here, so just be careful which bits and bobs you're mentioning in chats, if you can. I believe that the emulator term is perfectly legal, but anything to do with where you can get the games is not. Yeah, it's, as I say, I think it's more to do with the actual games where you can get them is 100% more against TOS. That the emulator conversation, because an emulator is not illegal, it's the game that you play on it which is illegal, and copyright, etc. It would be interesting to see whether, I don't know, I'm hoping some of you might know better, but can you put the Pokemon from Colosseum or Gale of Darkness into Home through the systems? I know most people do, and the answer is always the same: Google. But that's all you can really say. But as I don't know whether you can transfer things from Gale of Darkness and Colosseum into all of the accounts to move up to Home. And I think we just lost this round. Oh no, we did survive. So it would be interesting to see whether they do it. I think that's what one of the slight disappointments with the Stadium games was. That you couldn't really use anything you had got or move them if they were good or something. You could only use the locked in game ones. Thank you for the luck. Let's see if we manage to get this after the worst run I've had in ages. I think we must have survived on 1 HP there. Yeah, that's one way of getting them, but as I say, certain things of where you get them shouldn't be discussed on Twitch, because it is against terms of service. Let's see, do we have a shiny here? No. I would like the Boltund, but Azelf will do, but no, not Azelf. So, yeah, as I say, just be careful what part of it you're discussing. So, anybody want to try an elf, or will I go for number 3 on my own? Because I will say I used to do a lot more of the other ways, but that's because I didn't have a console, didn't have the means to do any of it. But now I have a 3DS. If I'm going to do the DS games, I will find a hard copy of some sort. Yeah, I know the feeling, but we know what it can be like, though, with some of these companies. Let's do another solo run. We have a Maractus. I'm going to take that. But I know we'll end up going back to that discussion about whether they could ever legally release the games, or because of the gambling in them. Because of the age rating, it's technically classed as illegal. Or not illegal, it'll make them like 18s. There is a more Packo there, but I've got to go through a firebug. Okay, we have a rock type. So if they were to release the virtual games, they would have to get the game corner deleted from the coding. And then also, if they didn't, they would become the equivalent of 18s, and that is a bit risky for a company to sell a game that's an 18. I get why it's not. I think it's probably the best way to say. Like, maybe if you could pay for it, but then it's like the games they know are expensive, so if you have the membership, they probably want that. The counter argument is, if you're playing for a solo plan, it's not that much compared to what an Xbox or a PlayStation online account is. So that's the other side of it that I would look at. Because I think it's what, £25 to £30 for a year on a solo account on the Switch. So when you look at it that way, it's not terrible. It's when you look at it if you don't need it. So I don't actually have that level of membership. I have the family one set up, but I don't use it. Hello Cheerio, welcome in. Say his name and he appears. I haven't got the headphone. I believe in Joe Hendry. I found the clap. I knew I had the clap somewhere. Let's just go out again. Fair enough. I'm not sure then, because the problem is I pay for it yearly, just because I hate monthly subscriptions like the plague. So yeah, I get that. Like the N64 and GBA are probably the more interesting ones, because you have Stadium 1 and 2, Puzzle League, I think Snap on there. You also have the Mystery Dungeon game. But how are you, Shirio? Did you enjoy WrestleMania Night 1? And I don't know if whether you did watch it with like Dan's stream, and did he survive the night, or did he pass out halfway through? I watched it at about 6 o'clock this morning. Because I have looked at getting the next level, but because I've got so many profiles, I kind of don't want to do the family member version of it, if that makes sense. But I know, we'll work through it at the end of the day. Like when the GameCube one comes out with the ones I want, I'll probably upgrade. Hello Bradley Bear, welcome in. How are you doing? Are you a Dynamax adventurer too? everybody's in the ads. Let's just weaken Morpeko a little bit then. So this Morpeko would be great to have on the team. Now, can I risk the computer being smart enough to pick the right thing? Fair enough. I thought he was doing like a watch along, so I thought you might do both at the same time. That was more because that's what I thought the stream was, a watch along, but I don't think I'll be able to survive getting to 12 o'clock. Good luck with that corner. I know how much of a nightmare that is. I've got a friend of the channel trying to do that. Welcome back, Dragon, and welcome in, Bradley. I don't know how much of it you saw. We are currently on an Azelf run. Please take it. Okay, I took it, didn't I? Pressed the wrong button. Azelf is my main hunt in this, purely because I'm in like a competition type Discord where we're trying to catch all of the Gen 4 shinies. So there's only 2 left, and one of them is Azelf, one of them is Giratina. But I'm good, cheerio, thank you. How are you? I'm guessing you're still tired from last night. As I say, when I watch it, I don't sleep at all, and I hate it in the morning. I'm more likely to watch tonight's session, but it is easier to watch in the morning so I can skip through all of the ads, because I hate the ads a lot. For the new people, these are open for people to join. We'll be quite happy for anyone to join the Azelf runs. We've done pretty well on them in the past. Today is the 3rd one. I will probably look to do between 8 and 10, depending on how things are going. That is good to hear, Shirio. I would love to try and do them. I just wish we would have sensible times for these events. American times just are bad, and the American crowd is bad. I was very disappointed with the crowd. I don't think they knew how to cheer or do anything from what I saw. I think we should just bring everything back to Europe and we can have it start at a sensible time for us. And it would also be sensible for the Americans because they can start watching it at lunchtime and everyone will have a good time. But when they start at midnight and go for 4 hours, I'm not interested in doing that anymore. I thought they would do more, I'm not gonna lie. It's a bit of a scuffed run, to be honest, again. I think that's at least like 3 lives we've lost. It's not good. I think I'm just going for the 2 stronger Pokemon really for this. Like, this is a sensible thing to go for, if we're honest. Hopefully we can finish it. Maybe 3 lives, maybe 2. We'll find out in a little while. I'm going to have to hope the computer takes this because I don't want this. Well, I do, but I would rather have Morpeko and Drapion on the team. I probably could have kept... No, Maractus would have been bad against this as well, so nothing was really that good against this. We would have always struggled. But we know. We win some, we lose some. Right, please be interested, Butterfree. It's not the worst, I guess. We got 1 life for the final and Butterfree is nearly dead. So that's not promising. I don't think we're going to make it. Unless we get a ridiculously good hit. It'll go straight for the Butterfree as well. If only it could pull on Puff itself, it would be nice. Right, so we're just going to have to do this. And why do you use Rage Powder? can't believe the computer actually threw. It's like, nope, you're not getting a shiny. Of all the things to happen, it was the computer being stupid. Do we get a shiny something else? No, we don't. Of course we don't. Let's try this again. We'll go back into as elf. If you do want to join, let me know. And we can run a team one. Otherwise, I will just run more solos. Because why not? Solos go pretty fast. But it's always fun to do these with other people. So I'll wait about 30 seconds to see if anybody says they want to join. Otherwise, we will just carry on going. Okay, then I will put the code in and prepare for it. You know my code by now. So yeah, as I said, I've got to do a bit of work on my new save file, where I've got to try and speedrun it pretty much just to get the shiny charm. I think I could get two. I think I could get to the Ice Town to get the shiny charm with one Pokemon. What have I got to face? Grass, water, fire. Jolteon probably could handle them. And it'll be Ghost. And I'm pretty sure it can learn some Ghost moves. So it should handle the Ghost Gym. And the Fairy Gym isn't too terrible. So maybe I could try and solo it with a Jolteon. I've done a bit of work getting the watts and everything. Then I could just probably do 2 more Dynamaxes and get a free team together. The main thing I don't want to do, as I said, is face... So actually I could face the non-Gen 4 legendaries. Okay, it is up and ready. I think we will probably just be doing a 2-player one. But that's not a problem. At least I won't have somebody doing rage power with like 10 HP, with 1 life left. Butterfree, I'm looking at you. Yeah, I don't think anyone else wanted in, so we can just run this one, and if they do, they can join the next one. Let's see, well, I guess this will make sense for now. The Obstagoon will be pretty good. Slowly turning into Boy from Belgium, doing Dynamaxes and the resets at the same time. I think we should probably go for Cypher, if I'm honest. Yeah, so we can go Trevenant, Cypher, and Cofagrigus. And we can get through these relatively easily, I think. Right. I will be seeing what the computer wants to do, I think, here. I might try to swap out to the Cypher. But it depends if the computer takes this. Or if it's any help. If this isn't very helpful, we're not worried. The problem is I don't think I can take this to the final. So I'm going to actually save my dark moves just in case. And whittle it down. Right, the good thing with Obstagoon is Screech is going to lower defences, so that'll make things very easy to hit. We said we've got Cofagrigus, which I think we could look at our team. If the computer takes Cypher and Trevenant, we might just go for whatever's easiest at the end. Because there's no point fighting something that's challenging, if that makes sense. If we've got a good team to win anyway. Like, Cofagrigus will be slightly more difficult for us. Because I'm pretty sure we don't have much PP on our dark moves. But we'll see. We'll see. You also have Thunder Wave, which will be quite helpful if we want to slow down the Azelf. But I'm sure one of the others will get Trick Room and just Trick Room it, so... Ooh, big Paralyze. Very good. That'll do a little bit more, and then we knock it out. That's a good start. You know, as I mentioned, I went to watch football, and the team we watched ended up losing quite badly. First time I've seen them lose, but it went very badly for them. Don't think the goalkeeper knew how to stop the ball going in. Corey's still hunting shinies. I'm guessing that's what the stars... I keep forgetting the TCG stuff. I should really learn what everything that happens in that game is. Lit Pokemon, okay. So this is not too helpful, so we don't really want this. We're just going to have to leave it there. So we want to take on this bug. How sort of long is the reset on that run as such? Because I know like some of the Game Boy games are a lot quicker, or DS games, compared to BDSP, for example, being about like, was it over a minute per reset? I know people go mad. In a weird way, I'm kind of happy that they shiny locked the starters because of how long the animation sequence is. I think that's the best way to put it. Not so much that it was good that they got shiny lock, it was good that it stopped how long they had to be done. Very nice. Does that mean you get stuff for it if it's got the stars around it? Even though I have the game set up and I can play it in a few people's chats, I never really do much with it. So yeah, I'm not the best with it. I have it, and that's about it. Fair enough. I don't know if because I've seen people get an X recently, and I don't really know where they came from or what they're for. I know what X are for, but I don't know what they add to it all. We'll just keep doing this, like why not? We might as well just weaken this thing down and deal with it little by little. Now here is the question, do I take this or do I let the computer take it? The dream is the computer takes it, if we're honest, and then we can just do something easy. Because it's an extra dark move for the Cofagrigus. That's the main reason that I would suggest leaving it to the computer. But if they don't take it, we don't have a very nice side team. Okay, well I'm dead. But I am also weak to Fairy, so it could be worth me swapping. But then I don't think we do, because we've got Obstagoon with Screech. And Obstagoon with Screech and Lash Out from a sheer force. Drogogen. Lash Out should do a lot of damage. And if Cypher's on the team, that should do a lot of damage. So yeah, let's let the computer take this. It'll probably be better for us. Just don't. I would only say do 2 rounds of Screech if you're going to do it. We'll see how strong it is after the first one. Don't bother doing round 3 because it will just get rid of the stats anyway. That's what I'm thinking. But the Screech is kind of important too, I think. And it could always go Fairy Cutter, Fury Cutter, if it wants to. Both of them want it, that's a big thing. Palpito, please. Okay, that'll do. It'll do. Now, I guess we just have to go for the Ghost. We can Screech and use our strongest moves against this. We'll be fine. We'll be fine, and we'll try and see whether Palpitoad will take it for us. Because we don't... It's not the worst thing to have in the final, but it ain't that good. At least it's not weak to most of it, it's just weak in general. Just not what we want. After a few bad runs. I'm going to use 1 Lash Out. Because at least there's no like pressure at the end, so I'm hoping Screech will go first. Yeah, we knew that would happen. Okay, Thunderbolt. Big Lash Out. That's not going to help. I thought that would do a lot more. I can't use another one of them. At least Cypher doesn't get hurt by that. Just do Iron Head then. Let's see. That won't do much difference because it's a special. Yeah, I couldn't risk another Lash Out anyway. They always target me. And it's my Dynamax, which is a little bit annoying. Because it means that we will probably want the Obstagoon to Dynamax in the final and just spam Max Darkness. It'll do, it'll weaken its special attack I believe, so that will help us, and then we can clean up that way. And just for the heads up, we may only do the 2 hours altogether today, because as I said, I would like to try and watch some football. And I believe the title can be decided today if Arsenal can't handle the Premier League again. But we'll see. As for the fantasy football, it finally went well for me. And as we've also got the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, which will be a bit of fun. I think we can have a laugh with that one. But we'll just we're going to carry on going back to our Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right through to Thursday. Have Friday off and try and do Saturday and Sunday next week, and see whether we could maybe crack the 400 level. Please, Noah, go Noah. Yes, Noah. Yeah, if you do Dragon, just Dynamax in the final. We'll be fine. Just go straight in for the Max Darknesses and we can just whittle it down. Like, it's going to hit me, probably knock me out. If it goes for Dazzling Gleam, if it doesn't go Dazzling Gleam, we will have to... I could get hit and Lash Out should do more damage too. So, at the end of the day, it's not a problem. Oh, is that so you can catch the Starly if it's shining, or is there any reason why you need to buy the Pokeballs before you do the starter. Fair enough. I have seen people get the starter a lot, and everyone sort of be like, couldn't do anything with it. And I know how annoying that must be. There's a friend of the channel that's been trying to do Piplup, and I think they're on over 1,000, maybe 2,000 by now. So, yeah. We know just how much they've had to put into it. Can we get a hit in before it hits me? I think the rest of you have got this one, even if it comes after me. Yeah, we're fine. Yeah, good that it came for me, because Assurance is going to hit harder. Your Max Darkness will hit harder, and the Coffin will be here. So I think it's going to be a GG and a good luck on some shinies. I'm pretty sure that's the first life we've lost in the whole run. I might have died once already, actually. I can't remember. Now, Gregis, you better refuse Shadow Ball. That's all I say. Thank you. I say good luck with the shiny. Let's see if we can get you the first shiny in. Shiny Legendary. I don't think you've got Shiny Legendary yet, have you, Dragon? You've got the like standard ones on the route, but not a Legendary yet. I think you got, what, Jinx? Thank you, Hori. Let's see. Do we have a big W to start this? We did get Cresselia on stream. And that was, we seem to be getting one every other day. So technically this is the other day. Because I've had a couple of days off. Well, I know that isn't shiny. It's like a white tree normally. Don't want Cypher. And as Elf is normal. Thanks as Elf for disappointing me again. Let's save the run and reload it up. Actually, I should go and have a look, shouldn't I? Giratina. Do you have Giratina? No, you're just talking some nonsense that I don't care about. Right. Let's try this again. Let's see if we can... I'm guessing you didn't get a shiny. Trevenant shiny. Very nice shiny. Congratulations. Well, we'll put the run up. I know you probably want to have a little look at the shiny, so I'll give you a minute. So there was a good decision to go for the tree instead of whatever was on the other side. See, I'm one of those people that have never really got too into natures. I never really, even though I play a lot of them, I don't tend to do that much around all of that side of things. So we do have somebody doing Palkia. That's probably where Boy from Belgium's hiding. Shall we see if Boy from Belgium's hiding in here? Let's see. He's usually hiding in someone's stream, isn't he? Trying to steal all their shinies. Oh no. He's actually disappeared. Are you sure he's alright? Has anyone heard from him recently? Is he still just celebrating all of his shinies? Well, this seems like the easy start. I would probably go for the Hitmon top or the Beware, because the main reason is you're going to be able to hurt a dark type pretty well. That's the target for all of it. We see what we can beat on the way there. Water, which I think is Vaporeon, which is not much help. What do we have? Chansey. I know it's Relicanth. That's hard to beat, actually. Pretty sure that Doug Trio might have something good. Or we can go Sceptile. We really are not in a good area. We'll just go Chansey because we're all pretty physical hitters. That seems to be like the sensible choice. I can never remember which way around the Doug Trios are, but one has Sucker Punch. And it is a Steel type, so it would resist. But the Sceptile, I believe, has X-Scissor, which might also be very nice to have in the final. So I think we will probably go for the Sceptile. So we'll go left after this. There's not really much point me doing much here other than hitting it, to be honest. We know it's pretty weak, this thing. Like, between us, we don't really want this. So we'll stick with what we've got between us for the next fight at least. And we kind of need to hope the computer doesn't get rid of the Hitmon top. That would be very helpful in Sceptile battle. But we'll see. We'll get through this one and see what the next thing was. I believe it was a fighting type. So whichever way around it is, we don't want anyone to swap. I'm not great, but I might just dig. So I can hide from one shot at least. Depends which one it is. If it's like a Hitmon, we've not got much of a problem. But we've got Psychic, so we should be relatively safe with it. But I'm sure the Kadabra will probably want the Chansey. No? Oh, computer not done. Unusual. What is that? That's Poliwrath. It is a... Actually, that's actually Obstagoon up there, so we definitely want to go... Okay. We'll go for the bug. There'll be some gambles. Welcome in, Robin. How are you doing? Hopefully you're feeling better today. I haven't seen you for a few days, so I'm hoping that means you've healed up a bit more. We are still stuck on Azelf, so I don't know if we're ever going to see this thing. Let's just try for the Paralyze. I'm not quite sure why we are on the Center Scorch, to be honest, but never mind. It's one of those annoying ones that is a type that doesn't have the type. But we'll plod through. So in the last 3 days, we've done about 30 on Azelf. We've failed 2, mainly because we've lost too many lives before getting to Azelf. If you go into it with 1 life, you probably won't win. It's pretty much as simple as that. And they included 1 today. And the computer decided to use Rage Powder when it had about 20 HP and 1 life left. Thanks, Butterfree. Have you managed to find your Zekrom yet? Or are you still on your Zekrom hunts? Or is that like a stream only type thing for you? The Kadabra's pretty useless. I kind of feel like we might as well just stick with what we've got for another round. Just because this isn't much help. We'll see whether the computer wants it, I guess. That might be the best option for us. Yeah, I don't mind. I can use the Outrages. Just means I don't have to press anything for a while. What better way to be a lazy gamer than pick a move that takes its time? Fair enough. Back in the Adlands. This is the area where the rarest of Pokemon will spawn, that no one will hear about, but I'm sure we'll catch them all. Because I'm sort of stuck in the middle of wanting to play another game that's completely not related to all of this. But it's got such mixed reviews, I don't know whether to commit to it or not. Because when it comes to that Zekrom hunt, I will be jumping in on that quite heavily. I want to say probably the end of next week. Like, we don't really want this, I don't think. It's pretty bad. Fair. Does that mean you'll be on every day or joining other people doing other ones? Or is this like a more bigger event as such that I don't know about? We're going to have to take Pelipper because I don't want to risk the Sandslash against that Talonflame. So I know that somebody came in to tell us about Dynamax day or weekend when I was in here with Belgium, and it's like we're doing it all month and you're doing it for one weekend. But because I'm doing that community shiny hunting in generation order, there's a good chance we will finish Gen 4 this week, I would like to think. We only need 2 more legendaries, we don't worry about mythicals, which is Azelf and Giratina. And once we finish that off, we'll be jumping into Gen 5. We appreciate you too, Cheerio. I do hope you get to watch Night 2 of WrestleMania as well, or at least the watch along. Hopefully you're not too sleepy by then. Oh, okay. Please say I get... I might have the Dynamax to save you a chance to Dynamax, because I think we're a little bit out of sequence. Oh, that hits that a lot harder than it should. Definitely thought that would have survived one of them. We've done what we need to do. I can't outrage or get locked in, so I'm just going to have to smash hard and hope for the best. Let's see, can we weaken this down? Because like one thing I've got to do in the background is I've got to set up my new save for when the Switch 2 comes out. I want to leave a profile on here, so I can basically Dynamax Adventures 2 players, like one on the Switch 2 and one on the Switch. If I want to do them off, like, non-streaming wise, I've got 2 accounts. But I want to move the one that this is currently on and my Sword one to the Switch 2, because there's certain games on both that I want to play on the Switch 2. This third account has nothing that needs to be on the Switch 2. It's pretty much a it's a Violet run where I can just do event raids if needed. I never play it for any other reason. So that's kind of why I have to set the new save up. I've done most of the legwork, which is pretty much just completing the Pokédexes from home and getting to the DAs, done the first one, just deciding how many I want to speedrun the game through with, or whether to make it a Nuzlocke. I'm still umming and ahhing between the two, because technically the only thing I've got is the Grookey. I've had no encounters en route I literally just ran to where you get the Corviknight, and then that's it, switched it off, and went and did the battle in the Isle of Armor so I could go and get Watch, so I could get more luxury balls, so I could do more DAs, but I've only done one, which is the tutorial one. But then technically the Nuzlocke would be dead because Grookey died in that battle, and so did the Slowpoke. So maybe not, we don't need to worry. Now, do I trust it to try and attack, or do I just paralyze it? Let's try and paralyze it first. Let's see, can we get this big paralyzed before it is too late? And if we do, we can carry on going. And with that we can... As I want to get to... I want one shiny today. That's pretty much what I need. It's been slow. I haven't had a normal shiny in about 50 to 60 DAs, just legendaries. Like 4 of my last 5 shinies have actually been the legendary, not the stuff en route. Which is kind of crazy to think that I've had that much luck. Probably shouldn't have tried to paralyze it, knowing that it's got facade. But we'll just go for sucker punches now. We'll whittle it down. Like, I think outside of Kadabra we're actually quite bulky for once. Which is going to help. Take a few punches from this thing. Give a few punches back. You know how it goes. It might hurt Beware, but okay. Yeah, it's one of those where it just sort of, it goes one way then the other. Like I mentioned before once on another save, I was saving up recording every encounter we did, as in en route and everything, all of the shinies, everything, and I only got one legendary out of 100, but then I had like 5 or 6 odd ones along the way. So this month for me, I think, has been very strange for not, well, only 6 out of what, 270 have been what you would call like the random ones, which is a little bit odd, considering that's pretty much how many Boy from Belgium gets a day. So we saying Pelipper just came in clutch with Wide Guard against an Azelf. Who would have thought that? And of the random ones I've got lots of Raichus. I've got a Claydol, which I actually got 2 days before from an egg. I'd had Mr. Mimes, or Mime Jr. saved up to evolve. So they're not even like new shinies. But GG's and good luck on the shiny. Let's see whether we can get... and I've also had Hitmonchan plenty of times because I was doing Tyrogues for something else as well. So and Dreadnought I've also had plenty of shinies off because it's an amazing shiny. So even the random ones aren't in my favour at the moment. Let's see. Well, we know chance it's not shiny. I know this would be a lovely shiny. You're just a thing, and you're just not shiny. But that's not very much help, is it? Games like, nope, you can't have shinies. But we'll run it back again. Do you get back-to-back shinies? No. Let's try this again. I should make sure I get Giratina, but I think ironically it'll be back Monday or Tuesday. So that will kind of be when we start the Giratina, I guess. There's not much point doing Giratina unless you've got 4 people anyway, because it is a very difficult thing to beat. More than because it's bulky, more than it hits hard, but the computer is not the smartest. Imagine if you could have used like the diorite ore to buy AI intelligence characters to join you on the route. That would have been quite interesting. Don't know if it would have worked, but it was an option or something they could have added. But we'll see. And I think it's just going to be... Sorry, I think it's just going to be the two of us. So let's head back out on our adventure. Right. I'm going to take this for bug. Pretty much. I guess like Seismitoad with Screech is not horrendous for early runs, but it's not a good selection there. The computer gets the chance for two good ones, of course they do. Never mind. Never mind. So, what do we have? We have a ghost. What is around the ghost? What's here? We have Steel, which is Tokudamaro. That's not a nice one to face. What else is there? So, I think we should go left. Because I think Nidoking has Shadow Ball, which will do. It's not the greatest, but it is something we can work with. I forgot what you ended up with. What did you end up with? Magneton. If you want to swap into this, you can for the next battle. Because we're going for a ground type. It's difficult, really. She'll be weak to the ground type, whichever. No, you should swap into this for the ground type. Because you're only 1 times weakness and you've got ice moves, which will hurt it a lot. Especially the Dynamax version. Yes, we have a few weaknesses, but you're quad weak to it, so you won't do very well against the ground type. Or a fighting type. Then we said we're going to go for Ghost. So do you have a dark move on this? I forgot what it has. Also got Rock Slide, Avalanche, Brick Break. I think that's all the moves it's got, so we were going to go for Ghost. I need to see what the Ghost type is. I think that's going to be the key factor here. What is the Ghost type? If the Ghost type is something helpful, we'll see who's the strongest against the Ghost type. But you may have to run the Nido if it's got Shadow Ball. And I might have to run the Ghost, but we'll see what it is we're facing next. I mean after the Nido. Because then we can like manipulate the teapot to stick around a bit longer as well. Because I think we'll both swap into the last two, it's just which way round we go. Yeah, but if we can get you to Dynamax, you could just Ice Move or straight up Ice Move the Nido King, and then if it does target you, you should take 1 hit, and then you can swap after. You can take the Nido King, like whichever one of us probably gets hit in the next fight should swap first. But I gotta just check to see what the last one is. If we're honest, because we also don't want the Poltergeist to take this That's the other way of looking at it. So that will be why I'd say if you take this, then we've got 2 big ice hitters in the next round. The computer is going to be there to do the computer thing. We know it's not going to be much help, but they do have solar beam if they can get sunny day up. No, they will have solar beam from the start as well, which can do a bit more damage. And then the Gaffrin can do Giga Drain, so before we jump into it, we are going to go Ghost. So yeah, you definitely need to swap after this. We can't take you into that fire one. I know I've got a weakness, but I've also got a strength against it. You'll be quad weak, so you should swap here 100% into this. It does know Magnet Rise, but it also cannot. Oh, it was right on anyway. It also can't hit it. That's the other problem. That's what we got to remember. If you can't hit it, it's not much help. If it's a ground move, because you've only got like electric and what, 1 steel move. So you could probably use your Brick Break here or your Ice move. It's up to you really. They're both going to hit pretty hard. I still think you should take this, because I think it might have a bug move, but I can't be sure. But you don't want the Sand Slash against the Lampert at all. You will melt very quickly. I know I'm even bad against the Lampert, but I might have to take it for the final. I'm also slightly tempted to stick it out with the Auroras, just because of like Body Slam in a weird way, but it's one of those where I wish the computer would show me if they want to take it or not. Do we get 1 more hit? That's going to hurt me a lot. Okay. Never mind. There goes life number 1. Because I always think this is a dragon type for some reason, not rock and ice. But let's face it, dinosaurs are basically dragons. But I've got a rock move for the Lampert, so I can just spam that, which will be enough to get through that battle. You do as well to the extent, but as I said, if it uses Inferno on you, I think you melt. And I don't think you've got a very good special defense for the Azelf, even though you'll resist the fairy move. In fairness, this was a bit of an ugly selection that we could have had to pick from. We may have been able to look at that Slowpoke if we had... I always forget which one, Slow Bro and Slow King, has the Shadow Ball. One of them does, the other one doesn't. Or Shadow Punch, maybe. But one of them doesn't have anything that's any good, the other one does. But we'll just keep going, like, as I said, if you take this regardless, see if you can get an Eviolite, that will be very important. And we'll see where we are in the next battle. I think if you're weak in the next battle, you could take the Lampert. It's not the absolute worst thing we could have. But if I'm still full health, it might be worth me sticking it out, because I've got Body Slam Refrigerate, which could paralyze, do a lot more than we would think. But it's going to be one of them where it's all about bulk, I think. if I try to Dynamax here, then actually it might be good if you take a Lampert and then you can Dynamax in the final. We'll see whoever can Dynamax next takes this. That's the smart play, I think. Because then we can get the max Phantasm up. But I'm not sure how many goes we'll need against this. It's a difficult one really, because like this isn't the most powerful thing. And because I thought that was Nidoking, I made the mistake of thinking we had something with Shadow Ball. But between us we can whittle it down. Maybe it will go for... But as I said, if it's me to Dynamax, I'll take this if we beat it this round, and you can keep yours, because I'm pretty sure the max Phantasm weakens special attack. No, weakens defense. So then we should be able to physically hit it quite hard in the final. It's not the greatest option, but it'll do. Yeah, it's all we've already got, really. Like, yeah. Well, I don't want to risk the computer taking it. Like, we want one of the max moves to hurt it a lot. And neither of us have that at the moment. I can only lower its speed, or put lightning up, or put rock sandstorm up. That's not helpful. So I've got to think for the next. I do have flutter, so there is that. So I'm going to have to, just for the bug move, I can weaken its special attack. So that'll be good as well, actually. I did think it would have a ghost move, so that's another mistake. So it's not looking the best run for me. As it's weak, and I think we have 3 lives, we should be okay. But it's whether we can just nerf that special attack as fast as possible, really. If we can do that, I think we'll be fine. Talk will just do random stuff for a fact. We may get lucky with the sucker punches. But let's just weaken this thing down quickly and make this a lot smoother than it probably needs to be. Or less complicated than we're trying to make it out to be. So I did mention this may be a slightly shorter one because of other things today. So I might do one more after this and then come back and start the 3 hours up tomorrow. As we said, like, it's one of them where when you're a bit drowsy you can't go as long. Who is it going for? The teapot? Well, the teapot's had a hit, that's okay. But if we do one more, that'll take us to nearer 2 o'clock-ish, and then we can step away for a while. And that'll be good. Like, we've still got a little chunk done. We will be on 7 with the next run, which is good. I'm trying to do at least 10 a day. Yesterday was an exception because of other things, I wasn't around, but even like Friday I got 10 done offline. So I'm going to stick to that, just get 10 a day minimum. And hopefully we can have some busy days. Like, I've noticed a lot less chances to join other people doing them recently as well. But I want to try and get onto my main account for that as well. But that's why I need to do my speed run. Really, so I might be doing a bit of that today. 2 ghosts and your Swift is not going to hurt us. Oh, you got lefties, so that's good. Let's do one more big hit, and I think we finish this off. Sucker Punch. Probably get 2 hits in here. One on me, but we've already weakened its special attack. This will put it down to -3. Very helpful. And then I'm hoping the Rhydon will finish this off. Perfect. GG and good luck. How is my Eastern? Oh, Easter. I don't really do much for Easter, to be honest. How about you? Like yesterday I went out to see a load of friends, so that's kind of, but it wasn't for Easter, it was just a birthday, if I'm honest. I don't do too much for it, so I'm not very religious at all. I have a very simple religious stance. You can believe in any religion you want, just don't put it on me to follow it as well. And that's how I like to keep my religious stance. So, shiny checks. Nope. Nope. No on the yourself. I was meant to ask you how the test drive went as well. I can't even get my Arceus yet either, which is very annoying for the challenge because I've got the wrong trainer ID. And I never really played Diamond and Pearl when it was around, so I don't really know as much of the lore behind it all. It is a little bit strange. I only know like a bit from what happened in PLA, and I think I skipped most of the text after a while. I'm waiting for a voiced acted Pokemon game. We need one. We need one soon. Because like even the Dragon Quest games are voice acted. It's all very well terribly voice acted, but it actually makes them more funny. Right, we'll get our starters and pick the first path, and then the ads will run through that battle. And as I said, this will be the last run of the day. I know it's slightly shorter than what we've been doing recently, but it's one of them. Like, I'm going to take the fake tears. And we've got a physical team being built. Lovely. I see fake tears is going to be very helpful. But if we get a dark type, at least I can help. That's an Obstagoon on the left, so we probably want to go left. Especially with fighting moves on our team. What else do we have? Don't know. We could try the Slow King, I guess. And then the other water type. There's nothing good up there, is there? So mine. Yeah, so we're going to have to go left. What did we say? We're going to go for Slow King. Maybe I take this. Yeah, I'll probably take this Obstagoon, but I'm going to let you Dynamax. Unless Max Starfall lowers its defense, which I don't think it does. What do you do? Hit. Nothing. Yeah, so there's not much point. This only lowers special. This only... Okay, I'm just gonna guess it. Because your fighting moves will be quite effective, so it's pretty good that you go for that. As I said, I'll take this and probably put you on the Slow King. Okay. But we'll see. I'm not quite sure what's going on. At the end of the day, it's easier to just attack with a fighting move here, rather than do coaching. But I need to be able to hit the next thing, so I should take this. And as we said, all I've got is Draining Kiss on a middle stage evolution, so I will not hurt it in any way, shape or form. But this fighting move should knock it out. Thanks, Jigglypuff. I feel like this should do such big damage. Yes. As I was saying, I'm probably going to take the Obstagoon, and we'll go for the Slow King or Bro, whichever one it is. I'm not completely sure which one it was. And that'll probably be the thing that you take to start with. But I need to know, I can't remember which one has Shadow Punch. Because you can just coach in the next round, it doesn't matter too much. So I don't. You might be a tiny bit weak to special moves, but if you take the slow, whatever it is, that will probably, doesn't matter if you take a hit. I will probably still Screech once, but I don't know whether it's worth it, to be honest. Oh, I should do it just to make sure it's a little bit weaker. But then I'm going to be using Thunderbolt, so I don't really need to Screech. Probably should have let the computer take this, shouldn't I? As we said, Slow King's the better option. Yes, you will be weak to the Psychic, but as we said, you can coach everyone else, and if I can lower its defense, we'll be sort of free up on what we were the time before, and then I could maybe use one of my Lash Outs. The only thing is we don't want to take on anything with a fighting move last, and then you can take this, and then if it's something better next, you can then swap again. Because I think the Seeking, one of them has a really good move for as Elf, but I can't remember which Basculin it is has Crunch. Or it's the blue or the red stripe. I never know the difference between the two anyway. That's not too bad, 'cause at least that's hiding for a while. I don't mind the things that hide. And then we get our boosts. So now we are, what, is it 2 up for this, or 1 up on our attack and 2 down on their attack. So when we physically hit it, we should hit it harder. You probably could just hit it, I think, but it's up to you if you do another coaching. But that's another defense drop, so that's -3. That's a big hit. You gonna knock it out? Or did we get an attack? Another coaching. We're unlucky there. What's it going to attack? Psychic on me, please? Because I think something's going to die if it attacks us. Ice Punch on you. Okay, that's fine. That's my Dynamax. I don't need to waste time with that. I don't even think I will get a hit in. So it will be your Dynamax on the next thing. It may be worth not Dynamaxing, and depending on your moveset, to be honest. Just so it can get back round to us at the start of the final. Doesn't matter if it's me or you. If I can Dynamax in the next fight, I'll do it so you get the Dynamax yourself. Let's see. Is this the Shadow Ball one? No, it's not. Pain. it's completely up to you whether you take this. Like, we could do Screech and Coaching again. Might help. The computer wants it, so the computer could take it. And we got a Water type next, so as we said, we can do the same strat we just did, but I just wouldn't Dynamax if I were you. We don't want to take on the Machoke, it's not worth it. Get an item. We don't have anything overly strong against the Machoke anyway, so it was a bad choice really for us, but we still got all our lives. We don't have a fairy move, so we're just... Weakness policy. What's... I'm going to risk this, to be honest, in the final, because I think it will try one Dazzling Gleam on us. So if I do get hit, I'll get a big buff. Should be very nice. Just hoping this doesn't have anything that I'm weak to. So I don't want to waste it on this. So what do we have? Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to have to just... I think we can go Coaching and Screech. Probably our best bet. Just do one round and then hit it. Let's see if we can get it done like that. Because it is strong against 2 of our team. So we'll be a bit cautious of that. It's mainly to support the rest of the team, really. I could maybe do 2 rounds, but as we said, I might need to Dynamax to make sure we can keep the Dynamax for us. Again, if you want the Lantern, you can take it. The thing is, if we lose the Basculin, we're in a bit of trouble, but otherwise, well, the physical stuff doesn't matter, so Coaching would be pointless with Screech. You know what, I am going to go again, because then it will be on my Dynamax, so I can use Match Strike. But if you attack, you might get what we got, a +5 swing now, so we should be good with an attack. So I got a +6 swing on physicals. But I don't know if a Slowpoke will use a right move. Or the Pulse? Okay, not the worst hit. And you nasty blood, of course you did. I wouldn't be surprised if Liquidation does a ridiculous amount of damage here as well. But we just got to attack it this time, really. Let's just swing away. Okay, that was quick. As I said, this is pretty much... I would take it just to take your weakness away. If anything, more than anything else. Like, it might not be the best of Pokemon, but when it comes to the physical moves, it's only me that's going to get the buff from them anyway. Unless, if we don't take it, Basculin might take this. I don't think it has physical moves. So, you could always try Confuse Rays as well. You're also the weakest on the field. But I think it is actually my Dynamax turn at the beginning, which is the big thing I needed. As we said, we gave myself weakness policy, so if it does Dazzling Gleam or Max Starfall, I might get a big buff to start things off. But we'll see if we can have that bit of luck as well. It would be a nice start. But I think I may die to a Starfall, but not to a Dazzling Gleam. But if I'm Dynamaxed, I'm more likely to survive the Starfall. So that's, I'm guessing, what we're thinking here. But I'm pretty confident we've got to here with all our lives. And considering the last couple have given us pretty dreadful runs, like options to use, we're doing pretty well. I would say be careful if we're going to go for Paralyze, because Facade will hit harder, but otherwise we're fine. What does it? Special defense, which is not bad either, because you have what, Thunderbolt and Water Pulse, so that I would just go for that next turn, and you should get a little bit more than you would have originally. If you get paralyzed, it won't make too much difference because it probably would have been before you, so at least there's that we don't have to worry about. Let's see, does the strike, that's just going to weaken speed. It's almost like it knew that the slowest thing on the field needed to be slower. My one plan to go for weakness policy that didn't need to be used. Another big hit, and we've got 2 hits now, hopefully. I can't remember if Future Strike will hit this turn or the next turn. Big hit with the Thunderbolt, and you nasty plot, thanks, Loki. You're a disappointment as always. I always knew Bro was better than you. And a big Swift, that shouldn't bother us really. Let's just finish it off. So I guess you hit. Why didn't you just attack the one time? But anyway, GG and good luck on your shiny. Let's see if we can end this on a high. Well, considering we've done... We did get one shiny between us, didn't we? Because you got the Trevenant, so we have technically got a shiny. I believe that's the second Trevenant people in my team have got this month. Well, I don't know if Boy from Belgium was on the team when he got it. I know he's got one this month, but I can't remember if it was with me. So let's see, can we continue this streak of getting some good legendaries? Would be very nice. Then we'll be on Giratina tomorrow. No to the obstacle, and no on the Lantern, and no on the Azef, even though that looks very different today. Oh, but never mind. Just save this, and then we'll save the game. Yeah, so we will be looking to come back and probably continue this tomorrow.